Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm going to be talking about something very, very important in this video, okay? And it's not for anyone to take offense, okay? As you can see from the title, I'm going there again. I've recently shared a number of stories that are quite disturbing, but we're kind of getting used to these kinds of things. But this isn't something we need to be getting used to. We need to figure out what's going on, and something needs to be done about this. Now, I'm going to try to speak louder because a couple of you have said that the audio isn't loud enough when you're listening on certain devices. So I'm going to try to speak as loudly as I can because I want you all to hear what I'm talking about here. Before I get into this, I want to say something up front before getting into this subject or this topic. I want to say that I don't hate my brothers, okay? A lot of you think that when we cover topics where women are victims of some type of violence by a man, that means that I hate my brothers. That is not the case. I also want to say this, that those brothers who handle their business in their home, in their communities, in their lives, those men who are responsible, taking care of their family, doing what it is they need to do as productive citizens in society, those who are serving the Most High Yah, whatever, okay? Those brothers don't usually take offense to these subjects because they know that it's not talking about them. They don't fit into the category of brute beast. So they don't get offended when I talk about this stuff. Okay? It's like brothers, some of these men come out of the woodworks. I'm not going to refer to them as my brothers. Okay? A lot of these men come out of the woodworks when we cover these subjects, and they believe that it's a personal attack on black men, that we are even highlighting these things. You have to understand this one thing, that I am a woman first, okay? And I have daughters. I also have sons, right? And so my sons, they already know that you better not go there. You will not be putting your hands on a woman. I don't care if y'all been married 10 years, 15, I don't care. Our sons already know that you won't get our support. My husband and I will not support our sons if they think that they're going to mistreat or misuse or abuse a woman. They won't get our support. Unfortunately, you have families who will support and even hide out their sons who commit certain abuses instead of supporting the woman. Now, let me say this too. I get a lot of deflection on this channel. I'm not talking about no woman who playing games and trying to provoke the man intentionally. When I say provoke, I mean she's hitting him and she's doing all kinds of stuff like that, right? Because there shouldn't be anything verbally a woman could say that would provoke you to want to hurt her or kill her. But if a woman is hitting you, that's the only provocation I could see. Okay, I'm pretty sure there are some other crazy things out there that could provoke as well. But what I am starting to see more and more is that a woman ain't even trying to hit no guy or even trying to do anything like that. Some of these men are just getting violent towards these women instead of just walking away. Now, there are situations, I'm going to say this too, for those of you who like to deflect. There are situations where a woman isn't trying to hit a man or whatever, but she's doing something horrible, something horrendous that will get you angered or embittered. And it can even be something criminal. But in situations like that, where this woman has done something to make you so angry, if it's criminal, call law enforcement. If it's something that she has done that is low down and dirty and devious, if it's something like that, walk away. Why go to jail over something like that? But in this video, I'm not even talking about those. So I'm going to sit that aside. I just had to say that for those of you who like to deflect and say, well, women do this, that, and the third too. I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about women who ain't did nothing to you. They just said something you didn't like. Or they asked you a question, baby, where you been? Or what time you coming back? And you just fly off the handle and start hitting her. Okay, so one recent case I shared, this had nothing to do with a relationship. This was a young man who went into a grocery store and the cashier asked him to put his mask on. And he flew off the handle. Now, after seeing more of the details, we watched several videos where witnesses were able to speak, and the officer who was also shot was able to speak. More details came out that this young man left the store, went out to his car, got a gun. He came back, and one witness actually said that this young man started to hit her first with his gun, and then he shot her. And then he went after the cop, who was also a black officer. So he shot 2 black people that day. A lot of people speculated and said if the cashier had been a white man or a white woman, he probably wouldn't have done that. And he shouldn't have. But it just goes to show you, because a lot of people are trying to deflect too and say, you're trying to make it seem as if he did this because she was a black woman. I'm not trying to make it seem like anything. The fact is, there were people bothered by the fact that I even covered that story because they feel like I'm demonizing men. This was talking about that guy. Why do you align yourself with that guy? This is talking about that specific story. And others like it, to where a black woman is being abused or killed. So why would you care if you are not that kind of guy? Anyway, to hear that he came back in, this woman must have feared for her life something fierce. It was so sad to see this woman, see her picture. As a matter of fact, let me look for her picture again. I want to bring this up again so that you all can put a face to what I'm talking about. Put a face to what I am talking about, because some of you just don't get it. Instead of coming over here and looking at the situation for what it is, and understanding that this woman went through something so horrible, understanding that she feared for her life, no doubt, as she saw him coming back in with a gun in his hand, the fear that she must have gone through. Instead of focusing on that, too many, here she is right here, we're focused on the fact that I'm even covering this story, as if we are not allowed to talk about what some black men are out here doing. There's a woman, so that's Laquita right there, y'all. She is the woman who lost her life. He shot her and killed her. Before doing that, a witness said that he actually beat her. He was hitting her with the gun. And so when you come on this channel and you are trying to imply that we're covering this story to demonize black men, this is a story that needs to be covered. It ain't got nothing to do with demonizing black men, because all black men are not the same. Likewise, all black women are not the same. This is just a story that needs to be talked about, because black women now have got to be careful out here. We were supposed to been being careful, but when you got people doing stuff like this, I'm saying to my sisters, be careful. And I don't care who don't like it. So many are calling myself and many other women feminists for even talking about issues that deal with black men. Even if it's violence against women. Oh, you're a feminist for talking about it. I got a lot of these so-called Hebrew Israelite men calling me a feminist because I address issues such as this. knowing good and well that I also address issues dealing with black women as well. But again, I'm a woman first, and I have daughters who need to understand that this type of man exists. I mean, there was even one deflector who implied that black women are just as violent, killing just as many black men as black men are killing black women. And I said to myself, oh my goodness, did I really just hear someone make that comparison to say black women are killing just as many black men as black men are killing black women? That's a major deflector right there. As a matter of fact, that's a stone cold liar. Nobody is saying that black women don't commit crimes and black women aren't out here doing some stuff too. But stay on topic. If this video is about one thing, I don't need a bunch of people in my comment section whining, saying women do just as much too. There is someone shared with me, a sister who is actually logging the deaths of black women. 200 or more per month is what she's logging. These are new deaths every month. Black women who have been killed, not just by black men, white men as well, but the majority. They pointed out that the majority of these women are killed in domestic violence disputes with black men. Now, there's another story that I'm going to be sharing with you all that was shared with me that was so disturbing. Oh my goodness, it had tears in my eyes. It amazes me that a lot of these men who lay their hands on a woman, to take her life, to choke her out, to strangle her, to shoot her, whatever. Most of these men don't even get that froggy with other men. They won't even go there with another man. But they feel so brave when it comes to putting their hands on and abusing a woman. Our people are in trouble. And I'm going to say, just like this one female officer, black women, you better start wising up and protecting yourselves. Because as many of these brothers state with their own lips, they say, you on your own. We don't have to protect you. But as we see these stories unfold, it's not for us to get discouraged, sisters. It is for us to do what it is we have to do, understand what it is we have to do. I am going to be covering more and more topics where I want to explain to the daughters of Zion the mindset that you have to have in this day and age. You have to stop being so willing to say, well, I'm going to give him a chance. I'm going to get off into this. As a matter of fact, my book, Woman, Thou Art Bound, that book talks about a lot of different things that black women have gone through and continue to go through. Because we are not passing down the right information to the next generation. Many of us, we allow our daughters to just go out here into the world and not explain to them what they might encounter. You have to explain this stuff to them. You have to let them know what is out here, not just with black men, but white men too, and any other man. You have to explain to them that in this world, as a young woman, she's got to be on her P's and Q's. She has to understand how to navigate through this world properly so that she does not become a victim. Or should I say, lessen her chances of becoming a victim. It's rough out here for black women. And please don't jump in my comments talking about it's rough out here for everybody. I'm talking about what I'm talking about. As a matter of fact, we know it's rough out here for our brothers too. We talk about it all the time. Every time one of our brothers gets shot or killed unjustly, everybody's talking about it. But some of these same men who know that we talk about what's happening to our brothers, you don't want us talking about what our brothers are doing to us. You are a hypocrite. You expect the black woman to defend and support the black man who things are happening to constantly. And we do acknowledge those things. But when it comes to what the black man is doing to the black woman, you don't want us talking about that. You call us a feminist. You say that we hate black men for even discussing those who are out here shooting and killing our sisters. Now, again, my brothers, my real brothers who are handling their business in righteousness, taking care of their families, loving their wives, doing what it is they have to do, they don't get hot and bothered by these topics because they not saying that's my brother right there. They not sitting back sympathizing with the criminal who just killed some woman. They're not sympathizing with him. So they don't feel like, oh man, here she go talking about men again. Do you know the number of brothers who have contacted my husband and myself and even our son about the topics that we cover dealing with black men? Telling my husband that he better shut me up because I talk about these things. Calling our whole family feminist or supporters of feminism. Most of these men don't even know what the hell feminism is. Sitting back saying that we are feminists or supporters of feminists because we talk about what some of these men are doing in the hood. What you don't understand is much of the crime that happens in the hood is black on black. Did you forget about that? Did you know that some black men are in the hood killing black men too? So you better be careful what you are trying to protect. If you are not the kind of man who's out here stirring up the devil in the hood, then don't get upset if we cover these topics. We know that black women also are out of order in many cases in the hood. But we also know that all black men are not the same. All black women are not the same. So anyone with any type of common sense knows that I'm not talking about all black men when I cover these subjects or all black women when I cover these subjects. Common sense people know that only deflectors or guilty parties like to come and say, well, it's not all of us, or black women are just as bad. Black women are criminals too. Years ago, one brother said to me on my channel, he said, black women commit 90% of the crimes in the black community. I said, here we go with this ignorant stuff. 90% of the crimes in the black community. All I know, family, is I have been grieved for the past few days. My husband as well, because we were watching some things. He was asking me, what's that you looking at? Because he saw me over there crying, right? One story in particular I'm going to share with you all, not in this video, but it involved a man who, he didn't just kill his girlfriend, but his own child too, you see. And so if some of you men ain't bothered by that or touched by that, that's your problem, okay? I just so happen to be touched by things like that, especially when you put your filthy hands on a child too. It's bad enough you killed the woman, but you're going to kill your own offspring as well. And so that particular story I want to talk about separate from this video, because that kind of stuff just it had me so vexed. And I know some of you say, well, just turn it off. Don't look at it. I can't do that. The Most High heals my spirit when I see these things. I thank him for that. There are moments that I do pull back from it. Okay. But I have to do this because there are daughters of Zion out here. I've spoken to many over the years. I remember the only time I've ever told a woman to leave her husband was when a young woman, she was very young, and she was married to one of these older Hebrew Israelite men. Okay. She was very young. And I spoke to her on the phone. She told me that this man was putting his hands on her, dragging her, beating her. And I told her, go back home to your mother. Leave this man alone and go back to your mother. She ended up getting pregnant by him. He was her husband. And the next contact I got from her, And I'm not sharing any names here, y'all. This story is being shared because you all need to know what's happening out here, especially to you young women, right? But the next contact I got from this young woman was that he had beaten her so bad to where she lost her baby. And it was at that point that she left him and went back to her mother. Now, I would like to see some of you men who called me a feminist get in the comment section and defend that. Defend this man beating his young wife to the point where she lost her baby. He killed his own child. Defend that. Like I said, I'm going to get more into this subject because there are young women out here who are making some bad decisions. And their bad decisions are to give these men space in their bed when they should not. You have to vet these men. It is what it is. You have to vet them. Don't be fooled by somebody, some Bible thumper who knows scripture. That ain't enough. There's other things that you need to take heed to as well. Thumping and carrying the Bible around and quoting scripture ain't enough. That's how many of you get sucked in, because they are using the Bible to manipulate you and making you think you're evil if you even question anything they're saying. Like I said, folk can, you can just say whatever you want. You men who keep calling me a feminist. That ain't nothing but demonic deflection, and you know it. You got the devil in you. And the Most High is going to deal with brute beasts. The scripture talks about that. As a matter of fact, I want to go to that scripture real quick, because some of you young women, you got to understand what you're dealing with out here. You putting yourself in harm's way when you don't seek the Most High first. And you think that you're supposed to just give somebody a chance because they carrying around a Bible. Okay, 2 Peter 2:12, it says, but as a matter of fact, let me go a little further back. It says, but chiefly them that walk after the flesh in the lust of uncleanness and despise authority, presumptuous are they, self-willed, they are not afraid to speak evil of dignities. Whereas angels, which are greater in power and might, they don't even bring railing accusations against them before Yahuwah. But these are natural brute beasts, made to be taken and destroyed. Speak evil of things that they don't understand, and shall utterly perish in their own corruption. Okay, so to you Bible thumpers who think we don't have a right to talk about these subjects where men are abusing women, young women, old women, women they don't even know, cashiers working their jobs. You out here killing folk. Some of the stories we saw, young women were stalked and killed because they did not want to be approached by some of these brute beasts. One young woman, this man, stranger, broke her jaw because she didn't want to be bothered. Another young woman, she was shot because she didn't want to be catcalled. As a matter of fact, she was with her own boyfriend, and this guy was approaching them and catcalling her. And she rejected his advances, and her boyfriend told him to leave her alone. So he shot her. But yet, I'm a feminist for talking about this. You just a wicked person. I'm going to keep talking about this because the daughters of Zion need to understand. Because we're not just talking about women who made bad choices in terms of who they are dating. See, now we are talking about women who are just at their job. This cashier was just at her job. She didn't do anything other than enforce the policy of the place that she works at. and asked the man to put his mask on. But do you know I had people in my comment section said that she should have minded her own business. She should have stayed out of his business and not be trying to tell him what to do. You got the devil in you to even make such a comment. This had nothing to do with her minding her own business. She was a cashier working at her job, enforcing the policies, which anybody who works a job will have to enforce the policy. There have been places we've go, the cashiers or the greeters or whatever tell you, ma'am, you got to put your mask on. And so am I supposed to get belligerent because someone says, put your mask on? So are you saying that he had a right to shoot and kill her, beat her first with the weapon and shoot and kill her because she said something to him about putting a mask on? Are you saying he had that right? Like I said, you got the devil in you if that's what you believe. I wouldn't even have attempted to throw that out there as an excuse. Talking about she's enforcing the rules of Babylon. Our people are messed up, even these religious ones. Always talking about Babylon this and Babylon that. We know things happen in what you call Babylon. We know things happen, but everything ain't about that. This man got the devil in him. For him to think that it was okay to go out to his car, get a weapon, come back and beat this woman first, and then shoot her. And some of y'all got the nerve to try to defend that mess because you don't like a woman saying nothing to a man. But some of y'all same men would not step two inches in front of another man to challenge him unless you had a gun in your hand. I'm done with this video. I am done with this. I'm going to keep on crying aloud and sparing not, lifting up my voice like a trumpet in Zion and showing my people their transgressions, right? It is for all of us to look at the man and woman in the mirror, every last one of us, not to deflect, not to make excuses, not to whine and cry because somebody, she's talking about what this man did again, what men are doing. It ain't for nobody to be whining. Look at the problems within. We are in trouble as a people. The Black community is in trouble. And whose responsibility is it for the Black community to get back together? Who's responsible for bringing it back together? I want to know what y'all think in the in the comment section below. What do you think? Who did the Most High lay the charge on for bringing the households and the communities back together? Who did the Most High mandate to do that? I want to know what your thoughts are on that. Until next time, we hope you liked today's topic. Please leave your comments below. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, share it like this video, and with that, we're out. Be sure to ring the bell to be notified of new uploads on this channel, and also comment, share, like, and subscribe.